Hey everybody, this is Spence from Low Life Podcast. It is April 13th, 2021. About to head off to work, but I noticed that the patch notes are out, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about those with you real quick. Just hit some of the notable ones. Number one is there has been some changes for you guys who are into sightseeing around New Eden. Rare Children of Light phenomena and the Iron Auersta system has received a dramatic visual upgrade, along with new landmark locations can be found in a number of systems. Old Man Star, New Eden, a couple of the other popular ones. You can check those out in the patch notes, exactly what they are. The top 10 fastest capsuleers for the Federation Grand Prix have been added to the monument in Luminaire. They added some racial variation for hacking structures, just kind of doing some cleanup on that. One thing that seems to be notable here, people have been talking about, is roaming Triglavian fleets will now be less aggressive with their choice of target locations within known space systems. We'll see what that exactly means. The biggest development we've probably seen in here is the seeding of BPOs for the upcoming industry changes. So a number of different modules that are going to be required for industry moving forward have already been seeded into a number of NPC stations. So you'll be able to check those out, see what is where, again, in the patch notes, as well as the reactions that moving forward will be required. Now, to note on this is that these changes have not taken effect yet. They're just seeding this stuff and preparing it so that industrial guys can get ready and not have to do a mad dash rush once the changes take effect. They'll already have, hopefully, their ME and TE trained up on their BPOs and be in a position that they're prepared for this stuff to happen. Something that I noticed popped up on these patch notes that I'm curious about is in the ecosystem it said removed empty asteroid belts that have no asteroids left available. Does that mean they can't be ratted? And are they talking about everywhere? Are they talking about in like, for instance, nullsec, where there are some zones that are broken ever since the scarcity changes with the ore redistribution happened, and nothing spawns in the belt, no ore whatsoever. So I'm curious how that is. And then another note on here was that mycocericin, the gas that they were talking about putting into lowsec, it says now the mycocericin gas sites can now be found in low security solar systems and additional null security locations. I went on, flew around a little bit in our home area this morning. I didn't find any of these clouds in either low or null, so I don't know if they're just now in the system and maybe next downtime they'll start popping up, or if I just wasn't looking in the right places. But I was checking the agency, kind of like an ice belt spawn, didn't see anything for that, as well as scanning down some anomalies and just looking for the green anomalies that usually pop up for like a like a low sec ore anomaly, things like that. Didn't see anything pop up. The dynamic bounty and ESS has been updated. There's some changes there. It is now faster to do the intrusion time on the main bank, and the auto pay timer has been increased almost by half. That's interesting to know. Just instead of every 2 hours payout, it'll be 2 hours 45 minutes, and then intrusion time is gone from 6 minutes 30 seconds to flat 6 minutes. Let's see what else here. There's a couple other changes that seemed interesting. Guys were talking on this morning on Reddit about the ability to autopilot and include jump bridges in the route. However, somebody had said that it was not working. CCP Aurora responded and said initially, it might take up to an hour to update, and then again CCP Aurora responded right after that and said, actually, it looks like it's a known bug. We'll have that fixed by tomorrow. So if you're trying to use that jump bridge autopilot thing and it's not working, well, that's why. So just be advised. You shouldn't be really, in Eve, you really shouldn't autopilot anyway, but if you are using it to map your trip and use those jump bridges, it may not work until tomorrow. There's a couple of gameplay issue defects that were found and fixed. Just a lot of it's just little stuff. You can check those out in your own time on show notes, but those are the big ones that I have seen that are kind of interesting on what's going on. So that was your quick 5-minute breakdown of the April 13th patch notes. Cypher and I will be back in a day or so with a full episode. I haven't released the topic on that yet. We're still working on 2 different topics that we want to release. I'm not going to give you any heads up on that. Thanks for listening, and we will see you later this week.